Please stand. Let us remember that we're in the holy presence of God. Heavenly Father, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather today to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2024. Over the last 4 years, you have given us the strength, courage, and wisdom to overcome obstacles and grow into the men seated here today. We thank you for guiding us to become men of intellect and accomplishment, faith and compassion, service and justice, and integrity and respect. This day could not be possible without the dedicated faculty and staff that have been by our side each and every day. We also thank you for allowing us to experience something unique, the brotherhood. A brotherhood rooted in love and compassion, the class of 2024 was molded by relationships that were granted through your hands, and this class will move on together and by association. Finally, we convey gratitude for our parents and guardians who have given us the support we needed through unconditional love. As we prepare to move on from LaSalle, we ask for your guidance and support in helping us navigate our way in life. Just as we enter to learn, we must now leave to serve. Let us take the lessons we have learned here at LaSalle and use them to transform society and be forces for good in the world. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Please remain standing for our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, on the rocket's red glare. The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Perfect as that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good morning. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Brother James, Mr. Fike, the Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, friends and family, and my brothers, the class of 2024. This is a day filled with complicated emotions for just about everybody involved. The nervousness and excitement of the senior, soon to embark on the most radical change of his young life. The pride of the parent, who doesn't see the timid freshman who shuffled into 8605 Cheltenham Avenue 4 years ago, but the soon-to-be graduated man who they lament grew up too fast. The younger brother who feels both angst and relief that his family's legacy at LaSalle now rests with him. These feelings even exist in the unsung heroes of this graduation ceremony, the band. Although their internal struggle is between gratitude for the donuts Mr. Mealy bought earlier and dismay they have to spend another 45 minutes wearing blazers in the sun. I draw your attention to this because I have watched the last 3 graduation ceremonies from the LaSalle trumpet section. My memories from that point of view should have made writing this speech easier, yet reflecting on this revealed something remarkable to me. I completely forget everything the graduation speakers at those ceremonies said. Unfortunately, so will all of you. With this in mind, I urge you to remember this phrase. LaSalle is an extraordinary community filled with people that make a profound impact on our lives. I am before you today to emphasize that the brotherhood we have shared, the leadership we have shown, and the hope I have for our future make me proud to call the class of 2024 my brothers for life. The class of 2024 entered LaSalle facing an unparalleled set of circumstances. The inevitable awkwardness for freshmen everywhere was coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic, and the two created an environment in which students literally and figuratively adopted masks. Split between cohorts and limited to interactions obscured by either screens or fabric, the start of our journey here at LaSalle undoubtedly had its difficulties. Yet LaSalle endured in no small part due to the work of the school's teachers and administration. They worked to deliver us the best LaSalle experience that they could give. Thanks to these efforts, things eventually returned to normal. The past 3 years were a long, formative process in developing the brotherhood that we have built today. In our teams, activities, friendships, and classrooms, we've grown much closer to the people sitting around us. For many of us, the people LaSalle introduced us to are some of the most important relationships in our lives. Consider how important LaSalle's mission has been in this process. Our brotherhood is Christ's love in action, and the successes we celebrate today are a direct result of his intervention in our lives. The culmination of this LaSallian mission is our senior Kairos retreat, the importance of which, for those of us who attended, cannot be understated. Kairos emphasizes that we all have a story, that we all come from such varied backgrounds, and one day will branch off into infinitely different lives. Yet, for 4 years, all of us were concentrated here at LaSalle, building the friendships and memories that will last our lifetimes. This is not to say every second at LaSalle was perfect. We all remember the mysterious cookie that set the school microwave on fire. But rather, that this community is something much greater than a simple school. Filled with joy, sadness, boredom, and absurdity, LaSalle is just like life. LaSalle indeed was our lives, and today is the culmination of the bonds we have developed during our time here. Know that you all have had a real impact on the lives of the people sitting next to you, that for many of us, you were the most important piece in the most formative 4 years of our lives. Brotherhood is a difficult concept to put into words, but I feel it is easily expressed through the dedication that you, the class of 2024, have shown for myself and the rest of the LaSalle community. Whether it be the hundreds of sheets of music Emmett Sykes painstakingly arranged for my band, the dedication Theo Peeble showed in pushing me to stick with speech and debate, and even the hours Jimmy Riley spent trying to teach me how to be a prop in rugby, I have reaped the rewards of the connections that we all share. In ways personal to you, I am sure you can say the same. But the deep impact you have had here extends beyond our brotherhood, showing itself in the leadership that you have extended to others. The power we possess in shaping the lives of others cannot be understated. Leadership is a quality that the youngest learners among us desperately need, something that they grasp onto to build the man they hope to become. But being a leader is never easy, exemplified by the terrible circumstances we have faced that have made being an example of compassion and dedication a necessity. As a class, we have witnessed the enormity of loss and how LaSallian brotherhood and leadership can help a community mourn and heal. As we painfully know, the class of 2024 witnessed the deaths of Isaiah Turner and Blake Barklage, and it became clear that losing these two tore at the senior classes who held them dear. The support the classes of 2021 and 2022 showed for one another during these times stood as examples for us, showing us as young students that the relationships we share hold us together in times of crisis. This past year, the death of Dylan Laskusky struck the LaSalle community and devastated the sophomore class, with a tragically young collection of students grieving the loss of a brother. But for these students, many in the class of 2024 were the empathetic support that they needed in such a difficult time. For a group of students handling immeasurable grief, I am proud to say that my peers lived the message of Christ and were there for people who needed it the most. This is indicative of the type of people that you are. People that embody how to live out Christ's ministry of presence. When we are present for others, we are taking the most important step in supporting another person. Follow the example of leaders like Brother James and Mr. Fike, continuing to lead the people in our lives with passion. You will soon find yourselves in libraries, practice facilities, classrooms, and even frat houses across the country. tasked with continuing the legacy you have built as people to be looked up to. I trust in the men I have already seen lead with strength and courage to continue to give the class of 2024 a good name. It is not the L on our chest that defines this quality, nor is it a title, grade, or even the diploma we are about to receive. It is how we leave a mark on the lives of others that truly counts, and I cannot wait to see how the influence of our class shapes the world around us. Shortly, it will be time for our paths to diverge, for us to take what we have learned here and give it in service of the communities we will soon join. I urge you to take the message of St. John Baptist de La Salle, the very reason you are here today, and use it to make a positive difference in a world desperately in need of LaSallian generosity. Seeing the war, famine, disease, and hardship our world faces can be discouraging, but this is precisely why people like you are so essential. We cannot begin to imagine how forces as powerful as artificial intelligence may shape our futures, but what you all have cannot be generated by a machine. While it may be able to do an English homework, it certainly cannot begin to emulate what we as humans possess: character. Your character is the future of this school's legacy, this brotherhood, and this world. Looking out on you today, I trust that we are in good hands. Continue fulfilling the graduate profile that brought you here today. Men of intellect and accomplishment, working to solve the ethical and intellectual dilemmas that our world has presented us with. Men of faith and compassion, conscious of the needs of others and spreading Christ's mission. Men of service and justice, working to better the lives of everyone around us, especially the less fortunate. And men of integrity and respect, treating each person we encounter with the dignity that they deserve. Today, we leave LaSalle as alumni for the first time, but this new perspective will make clear how LaSalle has shaped our lives so far. For 4 years, this school held massive importance in our lives, and we are now tasked with continuing the legacy of LaSalle. We can better our world, but only if we put our minds to it. Willpower is a remarkable thing, and I trust in you to employ it to the best of your ability, working to build a more loving, a more thoughtful, and a more LaSallian world. Thank you to everyone who has made the day possible, and I wish you, my brothers in the class of 2024, the best. May we all live Jesus in our hearts forever.
In the class of 1974 yearbook, there was an inscription on the 7th page. It stated, "More than most places, LaSalle represents a family, a community, shared hopes, intrigues, disappointments, joys, an open, informal, unrestricted place where the intellect is nurtured and the spirit is not ignored." What was accurate then still holds true today and is even stronger today. On this, the 50th anniversary of their graduation, please join me in recognizing the class of 1974. Gentlemen, will you please rise and be recognized?
Good morning. Yesterday, the administration, department chairs, and capstone coordinators awarded Medals of Achievement. Those awards are found in your program. Today, I have the honor of announcing the Special School Awards. The LaSalle College High School Award and $500 grant for the senior with the second highest scholastic average for 4 years is awarded to Gannon Wanders. Gannon, please come forward. The LaSalle College High School Highest Academic Average Award and $500 grant for the senior with the highest scholastic average for 4 years, supported by the Robert S. Blasey Family Trust, goes to John Harbison. The Men of LaSalle Loyalty Medal and $500 grant is awarded to Andrew Brennan. First Lieutenant Travis J. Mannion, United States Marine Corps, Class of 1999 Memorial Medal, and $500 grant for the Senior Scholar Athlete is awarded to Benjamin Felicki. The LaSalle College High School Alumni Association Award and $500 grant to the graduating senior who has best embodied over 4 years the principles of loyalty, commitment, generosity, and camaraderie goes to William Palopoli. The Dr. Edward A. and Beatrice C. Dahowski Medal and $500 grant for the student who best exemplifies the principles of St. John Baptist de La Salle and the Christian Brothers is awarded to Mason Lang. The John McShane Medal and $500 grant for the student who has worked hardest to bring credit to LaSalle College High School goes to Theodore Peebles. The William A. Meehan Esquire Class of 1944 Award and $1,000 grant for outstanding community service is awarded to Dachi Bogarazzi. The Class of 1973 Spirit Award and $1,000 grant for the student who has worked the hardest to promote a healthy sense of participation and enthusiasm for the full range of activities at LaSalle goes to Colin Kwok. The Lieutenant T. Mellinson Class of 1986 Medal and Award for Leadership and Public Service is awarded to Aidan Buchanan. Congratulations, gentlemen. It is now my honor to introduce the president of LaSalle College High School, Brother James.
Thank you, Mr. Fike. And gentlemen, let me, before beginning, confirm for the record something you may have heard. This fit really does have great pockets. It is, for one last time, before I must henceforth call you alumni. I greet you as I did at your freshman tie ceremony. As always, men of LaSalle College High School. Where were you 4 years ago today? Come on, it's not hard. It's okay to cheat, even. Everyone will have the same answer. At home. School, as you remember, had closed for 2 weeks beginning in mid-March. The closure of all businesses was followed by a general stay-at-home order proclaimed on March 23rd. On April 9th, Governor Wolf abandoned the fiction that schools were just on a 2-week extended spring break and admitted they would not reopen, be anything other than virtual for the remainder of that academic year. Some of you got a delayed 8th grade graduation, a graduation under socially distanced circumstances, virtual graduation, or a drive-through graduation. Others likely got nothing at all. Much of your first year of high school was influenced by the pandemic, though not erased by it, with the exception of a novel 3-week Thanksgiving break imposed by Montgomery County. 4 years on, the question gets asked, was it worth it? Was the social isolation endured, the educational deficit engendered, the anxiety provoked, worth the result? Should we have let the Darwinian drama of natural selection unfold as Chuck said it would? Or might the predicted collapse of the healthcare system have occurred? Should we have allowed those civil servants, anointed public health experts, a degree of sway over our lives that would be termed tyrannical were it imposed by politicians or the military? It's too early to answer these questions now. They're for social historians writing 3 or 4 decades hence. But it's a good question, nevertheless. So I ask you, as you look back on these past 4 years, was it worth it? Was it worth the 5:30 a.m. alarm clock soundings back in your bus riding days, the 7:58 a.m. lower lot sprint once you became a licensed driver? Was it worth the level of competition to make a team, the disappointment of cuts, the discovery of alternatives, the 10 p.m. homework sessions after practice if you made that team, getting your back into 5 AP exams when your mind's already at the shore? Was it worth the constant reminders that you live in the holy presence of God, that your decisions have not only social, educational, or economic ramifications, but spiritual ones, those impacting the economy of salvation? Was it worth it to have the opportunity to make friends, not just from your neighborhood or school district, but from all over the Delaware Valley? Some very like you, others with different backgrounds you can scarcely get your head around. I'm not naive or prone to a reflexive optimism. I appreciate that for a few of you, the answer will be no. You, let me express my regret and apologies. You can't get a base hit in every one of 250 at-bats, I appreciate, but it's a goal to have that number of strikes regressing towards 0. From those of you who would say it was worth it, or even, gratifyingly, it was so worth it, I'll ask only 3 things this morning. First, think for yourself. This practice hit record lows during the pandemic and has yet to recover. When I was young, threats of hellfire from nuns and clergy encouraged conformity. You have social media influencers now and will soon encounter the occasional professor whose ideological biases don't just color the curriculum, they are the curriculum. All things considered, hell seems a more attractive alternative. Second, be comfortable in your own company. Through most of the next 4 years, you'll be running wild and free with your Hanoverian wolf pack, whether the pups nest at the team, dorm, or fraternity. But build in the habit of private reflection each day. Ask yourself, is the person I'm becoming the person I want to be? Better yet, the person God is calling me to be. Finally, never forget the men you were in February 2024, and be confident you can shoulder a daunting responsibility when needed. When the class of 2026 was required to confront the harsh reality of life's untimely ending at a significantly younger age than 2 recent classes, You fulfilled the role of wise older brothers to perfection. You were present, compassionate, patient, and in a word, a good Lasallian word, vigilant. Let me be both clear and uncharacteristically personal. Whatever burdens, sorrow, and the loneliness of command reminded me to shoulder in the weeks following President's Day, the memory of your fraternal presence and support encourages me to conclude it was so worth it. I will never forget you for your goodness those days. Long after I am gone, LaSalle will remember as well. God bless you always, gentlemen.
Brother James and Mr. Fike, the class of 2024 seated before you has completed the program of studies in fulfillment of our graduation requirements. On the recommendation of the faculty, I present them to you to receive their diplomas.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Board of Trustees of LaSalle College High School, and the recommendation of the administration and faculty, a diploma of graduation is conferred upon each member of the class of 2024 who has successfully completed the prescribed program of studies of LaSalle College High School.
At this time, we will call up students by their homerooms. Please hold your applause until all of the students within each homeroom are recognized. Will Mrs. Jennifer Worthington and the members of homeroom 1D please come forward? Andrew Abraham. Nicholas Ammons. Nathaniel Arnold. Antonio Astolfi. Nicholas Avatello. Patrick Bader. Gabriel Bixby. Daci Boguadazzi. James Bones. Colby Boogan. Brendan Boyle. Patrick Brace. Andrew Brennan. Colin Kwok. Nicholas Yopis. Logan Lloyd. Drew Latier. Dominic Lupinacci. Jack Lyons. Maximo Machado. Colin Mack. Kevin McGuire. Andrew Majeski. Joseph Malizia III. Tyler Mariathasan. Liam Marshall. Ethan Martin. John Nagel. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Christopher Holwick and the members of Homeroom 2D please come forward? Matthew Cawley. Seamus Chanel. Nicholas Cheeseman. Zaire Coleman. Michael Collins. Nicholas Colucci III. Evan Camasciato. Anthony Camatalo Jr. Frederick Connor III. Liam Connor. Spencer Cordes. Christopher Correll. Connor Crabtree. Jake McNusby. Matthew McNusby. Tiernan McNichol. Brian McCoy Jr. John McSorley Jr. Colin Meehan. Matthew Mellinson. Jack Meyer. Reed Miller. Ryland Miller. Logan Missette. Cormac Morrissey. Gavin Moat. Frederick Mueller. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Kyle Werman and the members of Homeroom 3D please come forward? Andrew Dieno. Patrick Doherty Jr. Liam Donahue. Lucas Donahue. Michael Donahue Jr., Thomas Doucette, Stephen Dvorak, Jackson Edwards, Matthew Emma, Matthew Espenshade, Brendan Fahey, Paul Hudapea, Theodore Peebles, Drew Pensabine, Connor Perry, James Phillips IV, Christopher Piccarello, Trent Palazzi, Logan Potter, Connor Prout, Frank Provenzano Jr., Jaden Kwan, Declan Quinn, congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Matthew Del Rio and the members of homeroom 4D please come forward? Sebastian Botero. Isaiah Giddens. Alan Gorlikov. Javier Granda. Kevin Gearin Jr. Ian Godalian. Kelby Hampton. John Harbison IV. Riley Hardy. Hugh Harrington. Harrison Haviland. Liam Hawley. Thomas Hayden. Sean Russell. H. Quinn Ryan. William Ryan. Gavin Saxon. Kevin Schmidt Jr. Owen Seckinger. Michael Seminack Jr. Carson Seth. Luca Scarmella. James Sheeran. Joseph Shields. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Derrick and the members of Homeroom 5D please come forward? John Falavino III. Timothy Johnson. Samuel Johnson. Thomas Jolly. Brady Joyce. Colin Junod. Ryan Callip. William Keffer. Declan Kelly. Alexander Kempisti. John Kempisti. Charles Kennedy. Michael Kerr. Brent Thompson. Connor Thompson. Braden Thorne. Ethan Tran. Stephen Trezza. Paul Van Bastelar. Andrew Van Stone. Mario Varecchia. David Vazo. Ryan Wadsworth. Carson Wakefield. Daniel Walker. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Justin Harbor and the members of Homeroom 6D please come forward? Finian Brogan. Aiden Buchanan. Charles Budd. Dylan Burkhart. Robert Burt IV. Kieran Campbell. James Carpenter. Dean Carvalho. Cole Cassidy. John Cawley. Perry Chang. Joseph Chipman. Colin Masella. Reardon Matthews. Brady Mattia. Ryan McCabe. Francis McCann IV. Thomas McCook. James McFadden. James McGoldrick III. Seamus McGovern. James McGowan. Declan McKee. John Park Jr. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Kyle Finlay and the members of Homeroom 7D please come forward? Thomas Cresco. Stephen Cross. Jacob Crowell Alvarez. Jeffrey Cunningham Jr. Edward Sear. Stephen Davis. William Del Plato. George Deming V. Kevin Durr. Stephen Detweiler. Thomas Diebold Jr. Tristan DeFebo. John Mullen Jr. Cullen Murphy. Casey Nealon. Benjamin Newman. Alex Olivares. Aiden Opella. Israel Owatomo. Ethan Pacuris. William Palapoli. Joseph Panudo. Jack Patty. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mrs. Carrie Ann Michalecki and the members of Homeroom 8D please come forward? Cole Fakish. Benjamin Felicki. Andrew Ferrante. Aiden Pfeiffer. Colin Pfeiffer. Christopher Fioravante. Charles Fricker. Jackson Fryer. Alexander Fusaro. Sean Gallagher. Matthew Gannon. Alexander Garcia. Paul Geib Jr. Andrew Rocco. Owen Reap. Jason Reeder. Mark Riley. Robert Riley. Michael Ring. James Reitmeyer. Joseph Riley V. I'm sorry, James Riley V. Conrad Rogowski. Ronan Romano. Robert Rooney III. Raymond Ross. Daniel Rovey. Andrew Russell. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Michael Hearn and the members of Homeroom 9D please come forward? Nolan Hayes. Luke Herman. Ethan Hindley. Colin Hinckley. Robert Hoffman. George Hohenleitner. Mackay Holland. Gavin Hoover. Lucas Hudak. Scott Hughes. Gavin Jeffries. Matthew Saravo. Ethan Smith. Timothy Smith. Joseph Smolisa. Philip Sodano. John Solana. Christopher Selecki Jr. Jack Sondeski. Gavin Stengel. John Stevenson. Emmett Sykes. Matthew Thiel. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Vish Patel and the members of homeroom 10D please come forward? William Kerr. Fad Khan. John Koch IV. Cole Kohanowitz. Brett Colehep. John Kramer. Gavin Culp. Owen Kunko. Jack Curick. Matthew Curick. Mason Lang. Nathan Lentz. Zachary Leonard. Matthew Nelson. Gannon Wanders. Brendan Weichel. Jared Wirtz. Ian Whitaker. Chase Wiggins. Jonathan Wilbur. Ryan Wiley. Matthew Wills. Nicholas Wilson. Nicholas Zaff. John Zalesnak. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Good morning and welcome Brother James Butler, Mr. Fike, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, my brothers from the class of 2024. Now, when I was given the opportunity to speak at graduation, I tried to think of a central theme that I could base my remarks on, but I couldn't. I couldn't narrow down just one theme from the brotherhood, service, sports, or any other shared experiences we have had together over these past 4 years. So instead, I looked around my room and found this, a Rubik's Cube. Growing up, I found a fascination in solving puzzles and ultimately found my greatest interest in the Rubik's Cube. But this cube was more than simply a 3x3 block with 6 different colors on each side. To me, the cube was a challenge, a test to my mental ability, and it measured how I was able to adapt to whatever combination presented itself and bring the puzzle back to its equilibrium. Most of all, and most applicable to my time at LaSalle, it gave me an appreciation for solving problems. Now, I'm hoping I did not just bore you all to death with my fascination of this puzzle. Let me explain why I mention it. Coming into LaSalle 4 short years ago, many of us did not know exactly what we wanted to do or who we wanted to be. For many of us, myself included, we had certain aspirations that did not work out. Maybe we were set on a sports team, the basketball team for me, with dreams of being the starting power forward. But for some factors outside of our control, like height, for instance, it did not work out the way we wanted. Maybe it was a club, an after-school activity, or even making a new friend. Coming into LaSalle was indeed a challenge for us all, a puzzle even, that we were all tasked with just figuring out. We came from nearly 100 grade schools with different lived experiences, but each of us was tasked with the same challenge. For myself, when I began to view this transition into high school as simply another puzzle I had yet to solve, it really made my time and transition much easier and much smoother. But we did not do it alone. Over these 4 years, there were mentors and role models that selflessly guided us on the path to success. Our parents and guardians, you who sacrificed so much for us to attend LaSalle. You provide for us, and you never fail to make sure we are happy and loved. To my parents specifically, the countless sacrifices you make and your unwavering support for me on whatever project or passion I pursue does not go unnoticed. To my parents and all parents and guardians, we thank you and we love you. Our teachers and faculty, you who push us every day to be the best versions of ourselves, the best learners, the best men, and above all, you reach out and form real connections with us out of the love of your hearts, connections that may last forever. Specific teachers in my experience that have had this impact on me, like Mr. Sapola, who not only aims to teach physics to the curriculum, but strives to help us to think, even when it hurts my brain or when physics feels like another language. Mr. McCabe, who has been a genuine role model for me and has shown by example that true qualities of being a man lie in vulnerability and faith in God. To the teachers in my experience and to all teachers, we thank you. And to my brothers, the class of 2024, over the course of these last 4 years, we've had both highs and lows. We've had moments that brought us together, like when we united upon the arrival of Tent Jesus to our campus early freshman year. And we've had moments that momentarily split us apart, like sitting in the cafeteria a few months ago watching the March Madness games, where I do not think I could possibly count the times I heard the phrase, "You don't know ball." Or Kairos, where for many was the first time you felt that extreme the feeling of love. Shared your story for the first time, and you trusted each other, building relationships that lie in trust and confidence in one another. For these moments and the many, many more that I am unable to include in this short speech, I'm grateful and I'm happy to have spent them with you all. These 3 most important relationships of our high school years, our parents, teachers, and classmates, have challenged us, shaped our views, and brought us ever closer in the task of solving the puzzle of high school. So yes, this cube helped me to reflect on the many sides of my LaSalle experience. Relationships, moments of joy and sorrow, problems to be solved, lessons learned. It also represents perspective. Over these 4 years, perspective determined how we viewed the ups and downs of our high school years. Whether we knew it or not, we did view these years as a challenge, we took that perspective. It was challenging to get involved, try out for a sports team, maybe get cut, make a new friend despite the nerves of rejection, but we did it, and it was not easy. Legendary Houston track and field coach Steve Magnus once said in his book titled Do Hard Things that real toughness is experiencing discomfort or distress, leaning in, paying attention, and creating space to take thoughtful action. When we were met with a pandemic our freshman year and were led to learn virtually, it was tough. There was discomfort and distress, but through collective effort, paying attention to ourselves, and ultimately through the perspective of perseverance supported by our faith in God, we took action and got through it. Our mindset as a class to not let it overcome our learning or hinder our brotherhood, that was our perspective. And now, the cube. Rubik's Cube has over 43 quintillion possible combinations and just one correct combination with all 6 sides perfectly in order. There are hundreds of thousands of different ways to get the cube into its solved state, just as there are hundreds of thousands of paths we can go down, battles we can face, all while trying to achieve perfection. When we think about the 43 quintillion possible combinations to a Rubik's Cube, or however many possible ways we can live our life, it may be daunting to think that out of these millions and billions, there's just one. But that is where we flip our perspective. Unlike the cube, there are thousands of definitions of success in our lives. Even if it may seem like we want one thing because it is so perfect, maybe we are simply taking another path to individual happiness and success. We must acknowledge this with perspective, recognize our own imperfections, and know that by simply taking action, taking that first step ourselves, we are already sending ourselves on a good and noble path. Now, as we begin this next chapter of our lives and embark on our own new journeys, we're almost starting over in a way. This new journey will again be filled with ups, downs, challenges, and shortcomings, but now we have the tools, the knowledge, and the perspective to tackle this next big puzzle that we face, college. We will once again be freshmen and not know our way, each traveling down our own roads, searching for this idea of perfection. The path that leads one man to success may lead another to failure. And while I cannot stand up here and tell each one of you whether or not you will succeed, I can tell you you have as good a chance as the guy sitting next to you because of the value stilled within each one of you in a LaSallian education. Now, in a few moments, you will all be alumni of this great school, leaving the place that has brought you these relationships and offered you a new perspective to carry into your future and tackle the problems you face. We will forever be connected as the LaSalle College High School class of 2024. And whether we remember our time here spent in the library studying for tests, first periods in the CAF, long practices and drives home when the weather gets warm, or half asleep student versus faculty basketball games at 6 a.m., we remember who we made those memories with, each other. And while some of the memories will fade, what doesn't is the relationships we made, those that will last a lifetime. Relationships that build us, challenge us, and shape us into the men we are to become. So I challenge you all as we leave that building and this campus to adopt this new perspective in facing our everyday problems and encounters. I hope that you view challenges as a puzzle, one that requires a little brain work but can ultimately be overcome. I urge you to cherish your relationships and take care of those who would and will always do the same for you. And I hope you acknowledge your imperfections, trusting your own unique path with perseverance and tenacity, doing the best you can to take action of your life and letting God do the rest. I wish you all well in this upcoming chapter of your lives, and I wish to leave you with one last thought. Unfortunately, life will not always go as planned. At times, we may feel a little lost or out of place, but never lose sight of all that LaSalle has taught you and the people who walk with each of us that will help us get back to where we belong.
One last time. St. John Baptist de LaSalle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever. Please stand for the singing of the Alma Mater.
gentlemen, thank you very much. Excellent job.